Today we're breaking down why your Octane renders are still noisy, even when your settings look right. Most Blender artists think noise means you just need more samples or better denoising. But 9 times out of 10, it's lighting. And if you're using mesh emitters instead of real lights, that's your problem. I'll show you the exact tweaks I made to cut render times in half without sacrificing quality, just switching up the lighting setup. We'll rebuild the lighting from scratch, compare the results after side by side, and I'll even show you how to spot blown out highlights using false colors. My name is Patrick LeVar. I've been learning Blender Octane for the past 5 years, and I'm teaching everything I know, and I'm giving it out for free. I've also built one of the top Blender online communities where serious artists get access to exclusive materials, feedback, and direct support. Well, enough with the jibber jabber. Let's get straight to the video. All right, let's see what you've got going here. Scene wise, I don't even see any lights in the scene, bro. Oh yeah, dude. If this is your lighting, this is why you've got massive noise. This is why you got massive noise. If that plane is your lighting, that's not enough, man. So you're using these 2 image planes as lights. Not efficient, not the most efficient way to do it. So what I'm gonna do is so if you guys are enjoying this video, there is a complimentary PDF that summarizes all the stuff that I'm talking about in this video. Links down below if you guys are interested in that. Peace. I'm just gonna do a quick basic lighting setup for this, bro. I'll show you what I would do. All right, so this is what I'm gonna come in here and do. I'm literally gonna just use my add-on too while I'm at it. Come in here, Octane. I'm just gonna do your portrait. We're just gonna do a classic 3-point lighting setup. All right, where's your camera? Jump into your camera there. And then what is this plane here? We got some plane. All right, so this back thing here, you know what? We may leave this one here. Let me actually just hide it to see if that's that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we might leave that there. That's not really probably doing too much of a bad thing. Okay, so there's your background. And then what I'm gonna do is just come in here to the basic 3-point lighting setup and just show you the difference, what it looks like using lights. So let's start with, let me go ahead and kill everything first. And I'm gonna start with my rim light. That's what the rim light is. And let's go ahead and first thing first, I didn't even check the scale. What is the scale of this? I'm gonna bring in my cube here. See if this is the real world. Okay, yeah, so it's roughly the real world scale. All right, so here's my rim light. So again, I want to bring these lights in way closer when we're dealing with something so small like this, because that's how we would have it in real life. Let's go to my distance, something like this. And the distance is still too far off of it. Maybe something like this. Okay, so we kind of got there's my backlighting right there. And again, this is a big box. It's a bigger size, so that's going to give us softer shadows. Right, let's add in actually hang on one quickly here. 6000's direct sunlight. Okay, that's fine. I like that color. And then let's come into, let me kill that for a minute. Let's come back to my main key light. Main key light, I don't like this color here. So we're gonna go to 56,000 or 5600. Let's even go 60,000 or 6,000 Kelvin. Yeah, let's go with the direct sunlight. So there's that. And again, let's bring the distance in on this. Okay, now this is coming in and this is way huge. So we might need to soften this down. Right now it's blocking the camera. We just hit visibility, it turns off there. So good. Yeah, this thing is huge. So for this, we don't need it to be this big. So let's maybe go down to 0.5. Too small. Let's go to 1. Okay, and then let's go ahead and play with the positioning on this. I'm gonna bring it back up a little bit more on the height, and then let's kind of putting back that distance a little bit. And the power is way too hot. I'm gonna bring this down to a 50 watts because it's such a big light. We don't need it to be so hot. Also, yeah, we're blowing stuff out a little bit. That's way too hot. Let's bring it down to maybe 25 watts. Okay, it's a little bit better. But I'm also going to go back and make it just a little bit bigger now. And let's go to size. Let's go 1.5. I brightened it up a little bit. All right. And I'm going to pull the distance back a little bit. Got a little bit of blown out still here on the highlights there. We're still losing some highlight detail. Again, when you're using the false color, red means it's kind of blown. Red means it's blown out, basically. Black means it's underexposed. I'm not worried about this here. I'm just looking at the main product right here. Okay. So you can clearly see we're losing a little bit of detail there. Now I could bring some detail back into the highlights by doing a highlight compression. I come down to here and go into my highlight compression here. And this will bring some back. I'm going to quickly show you what that will look like. If I go ahead and go here, you can see we got this area, the red area is blown out. If I come in here to my highlight compression, watch those red areas disappear, see? We'll bring back more detail. And then we can also do clip to white. I'll show you what clip to white does. Clip to white, not really doing it too much in this one, in this case, but again, we can kind of just tone that back. I want a little bit, maybe just a sculpture blown out, just a little bit. Just add a little bit of realism into this. Like we're slightly overexposed. And then what I'm going to do now is add in the fill light. That was our key light. Let's go ahead and kill that. Let me bring that down. And let's add in the fill light. Now the fill light, I'm going to kill the key light, just the fill light. Again, that's way off in the distance. Let's bring him into the world. And his color is 56, 5500 is good. We'll leave it at 5500. Bring these to 1. Bring this to 1. Actually, that might be okay right there, but it's coming in a little bit hot. So let's go 25. This is, again, just filling those shadows slightly. So let's turn that off. Here's our key light. This is the main light, fill light. Fill on the shadows, and then our rim light. Man, the rim light looks gorgeous. I'm really liking the rim light. We might have some blown out highlights also on this. Yeah, we do. Okay, so the rim light. Let me just back that up a little bit. We probably could like that angle that it's at. Let's just kind of bring it back. Pull it off of it a little bit. Bringing down the intensity a little bit. And maybe bring down the intensity a little bit. Say, what are we at right now? 20. Let's go 20. Okay, there's yellow. Let's see what that looks like. That looks sweet. All right, so let's see. There's our fill. There's our key light. Quickly. Now, I'm not going to change any render settings. I'm not going to change nothing. All I'm going to do is just show you the difference between what you had here before, what those lights, those emission panels versus using real lights to do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to leave this as this. I mean, it's not, cinematic or crazy. All right. So that's basically, and then there's your background still. So I'm not going to change any of your render settings. Now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and render out this really quickly here. Let's kill that. Let me see what your render settings are going to look like. I'm not going to touch them. 2000. Yikes. We probably won't need that. Let me just render it out with exactly you have. And then I'm going to change the render settings to what I would probably do for this. All right, so that took, on your render settings, that took 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm just going to change slots and just kind of see if I was to, and see if I go into my default settings. 1000, 8, 24. I'll probably maybe go to 16 on that. Scattering, specular, I'd probably still maybe go just like 12, and then I would probably go 16 on this. GI clamp 10, right? And then you're using adaptive sampling, which I would leave where it's at. Anything, I'll go 4x4, but we'll see. That probably 2x2 is fine. Let's just leave it on 2x2. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to reduce the samples a little bit to 1000 and see what this looks like. All right, let's see what we're at. 1 minute and 22 seconds. Let's see. Here's one. I did change the sample bounces. That's why too. So here's one. There's two. So yeah, when it's black like that a little bit in this area, we need more samples. So I think you might have had some good stuff. Yeah, because you got a lot of glass in here. So if you guys are enjoying this video, there is a complimentary PDF that summarizes all the stuff that I'm talking about in this video. Links down below if you guys are interested in that. Peace. So yeah, your settings weren't too bad. Again, I'm not going to sit here and optimize settings, but again, I would play with those values and keep increasing until you got it to was a happy place. But otherwise, noise-wise, it's still the same, dude. Look at that. Like, I'm looking right here. So we can see we got some noise here with my samples. There's your samples. My samples, 122. Your samples, 2 minutes 37. So, and you can clearly see because I changed the specular, but I'm just looking at noise. Denoise versions. Let's go to the denoise versions. Denoise version, as far as noise, can't really tell the difference. Very minute. Like you can still get away with this render denoise. I would just probably go back to the specular. Maybe changing that back up too. Let's just go double that. Yeah, 24. And even on the specular, I might go 24 on that because you got so much glass and stuff going on, right? Let's do one more render here. All right, so render time on that was 128. And let's just see as far as specular balance is going now. There's one, there's the 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, now I'm pretty much matching your specular level. This was your settings at 2 minutes 37 seconds. Here was my settings at 1 minute 28 seconds. You don't even notice the difference in specular bounces, right? I don't see any switch, right? 2 minutes 37 seconds, 1 minute 24 seconds. If I'm going to do an animation, which one do you want? Mine or yours? All right, hope that helps out. So lesson learned, I'm not necessarily saying don't use the mesh lighting, but dude, your first shot should be go for lights. Because that's what they're there for. There are lights, area lights. Typically, the mesh lighting is for you're making an LED board and you got a button that you want to have a light, and you take the cube to make it a light. So but don't use mesh lighting as heavy lifting lighting. Use lights, area lights, spotlights. That's what lighting is for. So my biggest tip for you would be to avoid using area lights unless you really have something niched out or something very specific you want to do. Now, as far as you were using all the gobos or the gradient maps to shape the light, which is really cool to get the fall off, that can still be done with an area light. You just take the gradient map, and I'll set that up in a different video, but that can still be done using a traditional area light, using a distribution socket and adding a gradient generator into there to get that same type of look that you were trying to generate. So yeah, stop using mesh lights for the heavy lifting. They're just not built for that. If you want faster renders, cleaner results, and more control, just use real lights. That's it. Super simple. My name's Patrick LeVar, Blender Octane. This is the way.